Hey Virgo, welcome to your December 2020 reading. I just can't believe that here we are in December already. I want to say thank you for all of those of you who have been supporting my channel and letting me know through your messages how much my videos are helping you. Thank you, I appreciate you. Also, I want to wish you the best of holidays. I'm not sure if everybody around the world is celebrating Christmas this month, but I wish you the best anyways, and I hope you have a wonderful time as well as a happy new year. I know this is going to be a very interesting holiday just because of how a lot of people are feeling with COVID. But, we're very creative beings, and, this is helping us think outside the box. And I know it's going to get better. I don't see it all gray and negative. I see it as also as an opportunity to change our perspectives, change the way we think about things and some of the structures that we've used for a long time that are not working anymore. Human beings, we love habits, and we are willing to do things that don't make us feel good for a long time. And I think this virus is really helping us to stop doing that. So, Virgo, keep in mind that I'm going to give you a very general reading. However, I did ask the oracle to give me the messages that could help you know what you need to work with during this cycle. Okay? I'm sure every one of you have your own story to tell based on, the things you're going through. But I'm hoping that, these messages will help you and will give you the clarity that you need. I use numerology, and you can play lottery with these numbers if you like, Virgo. So the numbers that came out in your reading were 8107 and 817. Okay, 8107 and 817. So let's begin with the number 8. Number 8, in this particular case, is talking about your manifestations, the way you do them, the beliefs that you use to make them happen. So this is one of those moments where you need to revise them, okay? It's also a moment where you need to let go of the old behaviors. It's not a time to be judgmental. It's not a time to be critical. It's not a time to feel unworthy. As a matter of fact, it's a time to be in your power. And one of the ways that you will know how to be more in your power is by purging those beliefs. Okay? So, this is also one of those times, Virgo, where Spirit is asking you to draw strength from within and become very selective about the things you listen and the things you see. Okay? So we know there is a shift of consciousness taking place right now in our planet. And in that shift, we are recognizing more of who we are. And it's changing the old model of behavior. It's, also allowing us to understand more of who we are, how to use other ways to explore this reality without creating so much disharmony or so much repetition. So let's say that we have become masters by repeating our experiences so much. And now you have reached that point where you need to make better sense of all of that. So in a way, in this cycle, in the way you're understanding your life to be and also your power, right? Your vital force, your creative power, the way that you direct it, the way that you use it, because that's really all you got. It's all you got. And if you don't become a better manager of that energy, you're giving your power away, and you're supporting belief systems that are not creating harmony. So, understanding the magician in you right now is going to assist you and guide you as to how to obtain your heart desires. But you have to let go. So with 8 in astrology, we're talking here about Scorpio. And Scorpio represents death, represents endings. But it's what we need in order to start something new. Okay? And with what we know now, we can have a new beginning and make it better. Having a different point of view. But you have to be in power to be able to do it this time better. So if you're dealing with a relationship that it hasn't worked and you're kind of wondering right now whether it worked, well, apply this knowledge. Because, in the old model, we had to work hard to get what we wanted. And even after working that hard, we would not get the joy or the satisfaction out of those things. So, we would sort of accommodate ourselves to be in situations that didn't feel healthy. In the new model, you have to follow your heart. That's the center in which as you move energy through it, it will tell you right away if that energy is what you need or not. So we're getting away from analyzing things and being more of who we are. Because in that being, we can translate energy right away. So this is one of those moments where, it's like you're going through a shift. You're going through a growth spur. You're expanding your consciousness, Virgo. This is very exciting. So you're being asked to feel more and think less. But you also have to sort of open up some space in your energy field, because there's a lot of the old way of thinking that is occupying the space. And that takes energy. That uses a lot of energy. When we create a lot of negative energy, that uses a lot of your vital force. So you have to clear that away, just like you would do with your computer. Once you make that energy available, and then that changes your frequency, and it gives you the opportunity to receive more information or better information that you could use to create different things. And this is where you have to use the same method you used before, like just how you created habits before, right? You did something and then you did it over and over again. You repeated it until you ground that energy. That's what you're going to do with this new information. So you have to sort of follow your inspiration. And then your instincts will tell you how to go or where to go. Your emotions will let you know right away if where you're at is the right place. And then the universe, by reading your frequency, will respond, bringing you what you want. So as you could see, we're going to create our reality in a very different way. I mean, we have been the creators of our reality all the time. But before, we had no clue what we were doing. Now, we have to. In this new model, in this new way of being, we have to. We have to understand who we are at a deeper level, from a broader perspective. The next card is the number 10, and it talks about karmic completion. So being able to be more in your power, creating more space so that you can, use that vital force to create newer experience, better experiences, is going to allow you to stop doing the things that you've been repeating time after time. So in a way, it will also help you understand the magician in you, because 10 in astrology, Virgo, is Aries, which is 1, and 10, what did I do? Capricorn. Okay. In Tarot, 10 is the Wheel of Fortune, and 1 is the Magician. Okay. So these are your numbers. So 1 is, who am I in astrology? Who am I? Do I know who I am? What are my creative thought processes? That's Aries. And then how I put that into motion is Capricorn, which is ruled by Saturn. And Saturn is the one who deals with our habits, structures, social life, and so forth. So how do I use my creative nature outwardly is ruled by Capricorn. The house of Capricorn basically is the one that talks about how we use our personal resources. Aries, it's about our own personality, our creativity, who we are as a person and how we express that creativity. So in the new model, you're being asked to become the magician, that magical part of you who is constantly manipulating the elements. Fire being your inspiration. Emotions, that energy that you put into motion. Your thoughts, air. And then all of that turns energy into matter, earth. Sounds simple, right? So understanding that process of how an idea turns into matter is what we do all the time. But if you bring it into your daily life, according to the situations that you have going on in your life, understanding this process will allow you when is the time to do something and when not to. When to team up with somebody who's going to help you the right way or when not to. Or when is the right moment to support someone because they're ready, they're ripe. Otherwise, you're trying to change other people's reality, something that will never happen, and end up wasting your energy. And that's how we end up feeling unappreciated or taken advantage of. Sometimes we're super generous with our energy because we love somebody. And what we don't stop to think is that that person, although vibrationally when you first met them was a great connection, they don't have what it takes to understand you. And that's where we sometimes struggle. But I love him. We just were so good at first. What happened? Well, yeah, we can create those moments, but maintaining that energy, it requires somebody with a level of understanding that allows them to keep cooperating with your energy. And this is not something that you teach to people. This is something that you are. You are who you are. And uniting to someone, pretending to be something that you're not, is going to catch up to you. And that's what a lot of people do. The first week or the first month, they're in their best behavior. And they do things that they're not accustomed to do. So when all of that energy settles down, and then they little by little start showing who they really are. And those are the moments that sometimes we respond like, wait a minute, this is not what I signed up for. But now it could be too late because my mind created such a wonderful story. And that's the story that I told everyone. And now I cannot go back. Are you kidding me? It's embarrassing. And before we know it, now we are wasting and using all of this energy trying to work it out. Something that is not going to. So, we have to change that method of behavior. If you want to stop creating repetitions, which, as I said, is also represented by the Wheel of Fortune. So I know a lot of times, when people see this card, they tell you, ooh, money's coming your way. What a luck. You're going to get the love and all of this stuff, as if it's a lucky thing. And luck only happens to some people, or only comes to you occasionally. And it's not true. It's not true. So you create your own fortune, but you have to know how. You have to know who you are. And every time that you're giving your power away, that vital force that you have is being split up. It's just like trying to have 100 windows in your computer open. It's using energy. It's like having a bunch of garbage in your hard drive. Eventually you run out of space. And that slows down your computer. The same thing happens to us. So we have to free our energy from all of those stories that we used to use or we're still using about who we are. That will liberate you, will make your energy available for information that will help you and guide you to obtain the things that you want. And at the same time, it will teach you when is the moment to act and when not. Because in this process of creating our reality, there are times where we have to do our work, and there are times when we step back and let the greater force, the creative force, to do the rest. And this is where we have to understand the difference between our thoughts and our feelings. Some people don't know the difference because they have a very overactive mind. And that is only, when we have an active mind, Virgo, that's because your mind is so stressed that it's basically trying to come up with any story so that you can finally relax. And stress is one of those things where you waste so much energy. And not until you relax, you cannot have enough energy to have all the other systems running. You have a digestive system, you have a reproductive system, you have a nervous system. All of these systems need energy. And when you're stressed, all of that energy is moving towards your fight and flight system. So the mind is basically trying to calm you down. Come on. And it will create whatever story it needs so that you can come down. And those are the stories that we carry on and we drag time after time because we think they're true. So that's why you have to clear all that shit away. That's right now the priority during this cycle. Of course, you do whatever you want, but I'm just giving you the suggestion. So you're basically going through a growth that if you're able to do what is being asked here for you to do, you will gain the clarity to know how to create the right relationships. Because 7 in astrology is represented by Libra, and we know that that's the house of relationships. And in astrology, in tarot is the Chariot. And to me, this is a card of victory. This is the card of fulfillment. I have been able to reconcile the duality in me. I finally got it. I have a handle and understand who I am. I got it. And now I can be clear, I can be coherent about the things that I want. I know that the path that I need to follow, it will unfold in front of me. And all I have to do is pay attention. Now I know that the world can be falling apart, but it doesn't have to apply for me because my world is in perfect harmony. Now I know that my vital force is valuable, and who I give it to, I'm going to make sure that it's going to appreciate it in the same way that I do. And now I know that a simple virus, which I know can affect the reality of some people, doesn't have to affect mine, because I have a body that is so smart. It's so perfect. And now I know that during this time, I get to create a reality that is more in alignment who I'm becoming. And don't be surprised if this is one of those moments, Virgo, where you start feeling more of an expansion, your multidimensionality. Maybe before you would see that in your dreams occasionally, but now you're going to feel shifts in your energy. The physical body needs your help. We are having access to a lot of energy that the body has to adjust because it's so different. So don't be surprised if sometimes you're going to feel ache and pains. But this is energy. A lot of times people go to the doctor because they are afraid or they need help, and the doctor cannot help you. But there are different practices and methods that you can use to assist for the energy flow of your body. So keep that in mind. I had to start doing acupuncture because I started having this really bad pain in my shoulders. And I was getting pretty desperate. So I started, I asked my consciousness to assist me as to what to do. And I found these modalities that Dr. Bruce Lipton has in his website. I would highly recommend for you to visit his website if you don't know who he is. But he's basically the father of epigenetics, which is the newest science that has researched our genetics. And he's amazing. So they have this tapping modalities that is one of the ways in which we can talk to our body and know what's going on, especially in those moments when we're feeling stressed, or where we're feeling tense, or we're having an ache and pain. And, I always like to test things. Well, in one night I did about 5 different modalities. There is this psychiatrist, clinical psychiatrist, that she has them. And, they have been discovered by different people. So I started playing around with them. Oh my God, that night, my body responded to these modalities by telling me why I had a lot of that pain. And it had a lot to do with the way I felt about my family, the way that I felt about myself sometimes, where I felt unprotected. I was so shocked when I felt those things. And your body talks to you in such a clear way. And I've had a lot of experiences in my life over time, but every time you have one of these, it's one of those moments where you realize, Jesus Christ, we are made in such a perfect way. The mind sometimes forces you to forget these things. Well, all I can tell you is that, I was able to release those emotions. I mean, it was a night of 5 hours of a lot of intensity, emotional intensity, because I felt like a little girl who was unprotected and all of these things that sometimes we feel. So, in the meantime, the next day, I felt a lot better, but I still had some pain that, remained. Later, that's when I started doing this meditations to clear my chakras, and I'm using Dr. Joe Dispenza, another guy that is totally worth listening to. And the second day, as I was listening to his explanation of why he suggests this meditation, something clicked, and it helped me realize that one of the ways that you can heal a lot of your trauma is by raising your frequency and moving beyond your personality. So that's the reason why I'm sharing this with you. The old model is let me talk about it until, I'm either tired to death or I liberate myself, which most of the time, none of those things happen. Neither one is the way. Now you can actually heal all of that trauma by raising your frequency, working with your chakras, raising the mind of your chakras, going beyond yourself. So I'm a living proof of it. Dr. Joe Dispenza in his channel has thousands of people that have healed themselves by doing these practices. So you can do too, Virgo. And, don't lose hope. And if you're right now feeling bummed out because, your relationship ended and you feel alone, you feel disoriented, you don't know how you're going to make ends meet, all of that, I would highly recommend to, don't lose hope. And I hope that, whatever is being said right now, it's at least a little bit of a medicine to help you, sort of shift your perception and encourage yourself to feel better. There are two things that the ancestors are asking you to do. One, to get used to change and to stop being attached to things and people. And two, to be more loving and kind to yourself. Okay? So, just as you can be there for people, and you are incredible in doing that, because Virgos, they, they are there through thick and thin. Do that for yourself too. As a matter of fact, right now, it would not be a selfish thing for you to redirect that energy and use it for you. That's what you're really being asked to do, to make yourself a priority and to take care of yourself first. So thank you, my dearest Virgo. I wish you the best of luck, many blessings to you, and I hope to see you next year. Thank you for being here.